Life is very mysterious. I have to tell you guys that. Before you jump into the toilet and start digging for feces of other people, of what they throw away into the garbage bin, before we start and do that, and yes, that sounds pretty fucking weird, I have to tell you guys a very interesting thing of how powerful theories can actually get. Because when things connect with each other, when you understand that drama is like hot and horror is cold, when you shiver in fear and drama just kind of makes you get up off the chair and get very upset or emotional, so you get heated up of like, boo, I can do better than that. You challenge someone, and in horror you're fighting ghosts, you're fighting nothing. So you have to like relax. There's nothing. You're only going to get more scared when you get closer to the unknown. When you understand that, you don't want to mix this with summer, and you don't want to mix this with winter. That's an interesting theory, right? Because summer is already hot, so you're doing yourself a disservice. You have to use summer heat to reduce the cold of the horror. You can explore the unexplored. There's more sunshine, there's more energy, there's more freedom. You can deal with this. And if you're emitting horror, you're a horrible person, unfortunately. And here, if you mix this with winter, you're gonna do much more. By mixing the right things, you can be more effective. So drama works very well in winter. This is why I kind of fucking hate Jack's films. But more on that later. I did make 23 episodes. I know what I'm talking about. I have brain cells. And if you don't dedicate enough brain cells, well, you're not useful for the drama. You're not participating properly, and you're not learning fast enough to be able to hold any authority. Yes, you can throw a tomato at me if you don't like me, and nothing will happen because I'm one of you guys. I'm just as unpopular as everyone else. Just because I dedicate myself to the internet, that's all I have. If you don't want to be my friends, you're just delaying the consequence of me having friends in the first place. So that kind of sucks, but that's the life I live in. This is where I get my brain cells. My life is stressful. I don't have supportive parents. They're damaged and dysfunctional. And I don't got no friends. But guess what? I figured out the theory. You have to craft an explanation and constantly update it of what happened, what is going on. You have to ask questions. When drama happens, that's what you do. So, why would Jack's films go after Sniper Wolf? What does he want to achieve? What's going on? Is Sniper Wolf actually stealing content? How do you know? What's the consequence of that? People like to jump to conclusions and act as if they have achieved something. But that is the stupid thing. That's like, that's like 50 experience and you're done? You have defeated the final boss? No, you just went straight to the final boss and you got 50 experience for traveling. You have increased your agility. And you feel like, oh, you've seen so many things. Like, who fucking cares about that, bro? You get experience for everything you do. Every single action matters. So here's the theory. Yes, effort matters. You will be educated. In this very first video, you have to be educated of how toilet theory works and what it's all about. And yes, it's inspired by goddamn MatPat leaving. Because we have to dive deeper into bigger theories. into bigger drama, so to speak. Theories can master our understanding of drama, right? Once we understand and learn everything from drama, drama is like a pool of mysteries, and if you solve it first, you know, you can feel very good about yourself. You're ahead of everyone else. You have actually worked and appreciated what you can get from the universe. The universe gives you a bunch of mysteries and you cared. That's all you have to do. This is how much effort actually matters. And you have to have full self-esteem, hopefully 100% of self-esteem. Not be dysfunctionally egoistic and above everyone else, but also not be silent and not post anything when you feel like you want to do that. Just you poop. It's toilet theory. It might seem like poop, but like I have to. It's just what happens in my system, and it's probably not even that bad. It's not just the shit that matters. It's the whole toilet process where you are actually dragged into the toilet and you have to sit for a few minutes and here comes the poop and then you're relieved. Everything, every single part matters. It's not just the shit that comes out. That's not the content. This is why I don't call this shit theory. While, MatPat's kind of didn't take the hits. He took the tile instead, so I don't know. That's his choice. He didn't take that's cool. I was expecting shit theory though, and I'm very upset. Anyways, especially when Skibidi toilet hit the floor. Now that would have been perfect catch. Now I'll catch that. Thank you very much, MatPat. And we're going to have a lot of fun time here because science will not slow me down. I don't like science. Unless it's data science, then I respect it. I respect it. It creates technology. It collects information and organizes things. I like that. That's good. But everything else besides graphs is not very convincing, unfortunately. That's not very scientific, I would say. It's hearsay and could be forgeries and a bunch of lies. And even if you zoom in to see bacterias, I don't know, man. Maybe you're just hallucinating, to be honest. Who knows? Maybe even microscoping can be a drug. We'll never know. Because certain things that you observe, you have to always ask, is it meaningful? Do you understand something more because you've observed something? Everything you do has to hold some kind of meaning, otherwise you're not going to be able to move forward. With toilet theory so far, I have figured out that I can get stuck, and I can freeze, and I can collapse. There are many ways to actually fail the theory. And if I fail the theory, I have to try again. And I can't actually make a parallel between taking a dump and getting stuck. Because that would be painful. If shit gets stuck in my system, is that even possible, bro? Maybe I'm creating a digestive system, who knows? And I am getting stuck right now. But that's good. It's a good example of me getting stuck because I deviated from the topic. The topic is this channel. I'm making a completely new thing. Well, on my main channel, by the way, I'm Gornext, the CEO of YouTube. That's my role, and no one's gonna fucking steal that from me. Because they have to challenge me directly. They have to talk to me if they want to take away my role. If they can do a better job than I do. That's how it works. Through theories, I figured that out, that I can just claim a role. I can just do things whatever I want whatever I feel like I'm the most suited for, I'll just do that. So if I'm YouTube CEO, I collect data, put it all together in these buttons. I can summon Hey Vsauce and click him a bunch of times until I give him a point because I cared. That's also effort that has been put into data and organized. And I know exactly where Vsauce is on the leaderboard as well, alongside with other entities, so to speak, or creators, influencers. 275, you know, there's a lot of people now. There's like 600 of them that I checked out, at least. So that's a pretty cool start, right? 2024 is a pretty weird thing, but the theory that I was hinting at and going towards is Europe. This is where I live, and it has a very interesting vibe. The vibe is doing things is often a mistake. You know, doing things in the real world. Of course, in your privacy, you can do whatever you want. It doesn't matter. It's a lot better if you, like, interact with things that you have full control over. If you have friendships, if you have your private space, you can do whatever you want. No one's gonna bother you. But if you go outside, you better not make mistakes. Because almost everything is a mistake. Now, the way to avoid mistakes in Europe, and it's weird, right? Like, why Europe has this weird vibe. And the vibe dictates everything, unfortunately. We're smart people, you know, and we don't really get along with each other, unfortunately, because we're smart. We have high expectations for each other that no one can really meet those expectations. So the best thing we can ask for each other is to, like, well, don't make mistakes. Like, let's not bump into each other and create some kind of, like, uncontrollable drama. You know, if you want to solve something, we gotta, like, do it in as smart as we can possibly muster, because it's always gonna cause some kind of trouble somewhere, but hopefully we solve the big one, you know. As we solve in the big trouble, like, smaller ones appear. You know, someone is gonna be bitter, someone's gonna be upset, someone's gonna feel like robbed and inadequately treated and all that shit. This is just what happens in Europe. Like, you can't actually easily solve problems. Maybe in America, people just solve problems sexually. I don't know, bro. By interacting more and more, just by being close friends with your enemies. Who the fuck knows, man? How do they do that? Because it's different there. It's completely different. They speak one language. In Europe, we speak multitude of languages. So just by that alone, we can make a mistake. You know, but it is what it is. That's just what happened. It's hard to tell, guys, but, like, my life revolves around getting free money, because the government gives me money for being apparently mentally ill. I don't know. They decided that. I'll take the money, though. I'm not gonna take the label. I'll take the money, though. It's pretty cool. If you just quickly decided that, and you made that mistake, because that's just what happens in Europe. Bunch of mistakes left and right, and you just have to accept it, that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. That most people are trying to be smart, but they just kind of fail miserably. Anytime anything happens, just mistake after mistake. All right, the way they handle things. So you just, like, try to not get in other people's ways, because they're just gonna fucking flip upside down and inside out, and God knows what the fuck's gonna happen. This is a big ass theory. And you can't just say it's just a theory. unfortunately, anymore. I'm not gonna allow you to do that. You gotta take this seriously, my friends. You gotta commit brain cells to the point of where I respect you, where you like respectfully expressing yourself and not just assuming things and throwing insults and demonizing my content in some kind of way. Like, I don't need that shit. You know, if you can't watch my content properly or respond to it properly, don't do that mistake. Welcome to Europe, my friends. You are also being treated as a European when you're interacting with my content. I expect you to be able to do things properly. All right? And for that, you need brain cells. You need to dedicate that shit. You need to be respectable. I'm just in the environment. I'm consumed by the environment. If I would able to travel, then I would learn the American ways, the Russian and Indian ways, and I would learn the fucking Chinese ways too. It's not that impossible if I could travel. But if I can't travel, I have to submit that I want to be a perfect European, basically. I have to learn the ways of the Europe. And yes, I did not mention Africa because Africa is fucking weird and it's filled with black people. And we try not to be racist. And in order to not be racist, sometimes you gotta shut the fuck up. You know. So we don't talk about Africa, unfortunately. As much as Mr. Beast does, because apparently he finds all sorts of cool things to do in Africa. I wonder why, my friends. It's just the easiest place to go to if you want to help people. That's hint number one. Why shut up about Mr. Beast, though, right? If Mr. Beast wants to go to Africa, we're going to talk about Africa anyways. So, yeah, Mr. Beast is very much attracted, and that's drama number 2. Drama number 1 is, wait, if I press a dot, it just disappears. Is sniper drama. Sniper Wolf versus Jax films. I like Sniper Wolf. I think she's a wonderful creator. I think she is an example for a lot of creators of how you're supposed to upload content. It has to be somewhat repetitive, but you can expect it like every single day almost. Hearthstone content also does the same thing. It's a game that I like. It's a card game, and it just a lot of creators just kind of commit, upload every single day. You know what to expect. You decide whether you like it or not very quickly. And well, she was under attack by a creator that I respect a little bit less. No, Jackson's is respectable, but after the drama, the final scores are in, and Sniper Wolf is twice as ahead. In fact, Jax Films is bloated. We're trying to, like, delete him and steal just enough points, but it's probably not gonna happen. So I can, like, retract this weird stuff that I gave him to try and, like, bloat him into 20% purity. You don't need to know exactly what it is. But purity, like link points, if you link to someone, if you collaborate or cause drama, you're gonna get linked. In this case, it's 11% linked between Sniper Wolf and Jax Films, because Jax Films kept pumping the videos for Sniper Wolf as if he's like fucking in love, basically, or at least obsessed. You can't make, like, women understand. Women are very smart, and they understand that you have to be positive when you do things. You can't just do things out of spite. You can't just chase one person. They will think you're obsessed, and, well, there's at least something wrong with you. Because you can't express your feelings properly. You know, you're upset. Or you're harassing someone. You're defaming them. Which is not very positive, and women try to like give you benefit of the doubt and like maybe don't go to that territory because you're going to talk to real men around here, including me. I did claim to be YouTube CEO, and once I have the power, I delete his channel in a satisfying way, of course, in an entertaining way, because we're on YouTube, we have to be entertaining. So as I delete his channel, it just kind of like slowly evaporates, slowly goes to jail, so to speak. So everyone gets to experience the disappearance of one video after the other, and he's getting notifications of like, well, this is going to be deleted and this is going to be deleted, and soon everything will disappear. And you'll be able to like do certain things, but you'll be very restricted of what you can upload, and everyone will see. Because everything else will be, well, sort of deleted. So of course, it's just technically blocked and invisible and all that shit. But you can see how much cool stuff can happen on a social platform. A lot of cool things can happen, guys. And you should be excited about every single change that is possible on YouTube. All right? How do we build the sort of modification is a whole nother level to figure out. Right now, I just want to actually figure out how to do YouTube Rewinds. All right? As long as I can improve YouTube Rewind, I am making tremendous progress on the YouTube as a platform as a whole. I'm making single-handedly making YouTube Rewind. That's a big achievement for one human being to be able to put everything together. A lot of children are trying to do their own versions, but a more serious and more mature version just satisfies me so much. It's so emotional. It's so deep. Children don't understand it, and that makes me feel a lot better, actually. Yes, but I will try to appeal to them too. Add animations if possible. I don't know. I don't know what it takes, because it didn't impress them when I released my newest edition, so I don't know what's going on, bro. What, do I have to chop it into pieces? I can't. So I'm probably just gonna wait until children are kicked out of the platform, because it seems a very likely situation as well. Anyways, so yeah, I support Sniper Wolf. I think Jack's Films is pretty confused of what he wants to achieve, fighting the final boss of React channels, as if React content is like evil and stuff. But I don't think Jack's Films understand, like, asking for permission isn't always the most moral thing to do, because you still have to bother the person that you're asking a permission to. In Europe, that would be considered a mistake. You just don't want to just ask for permissions of all these like random TikTokers, and you're not always going to get them, and you shouldn't even bother crediting them, because it's just a waste of time. You're just watching TikToks, you're just scrolling through an app, in a way, in the end. And if you're collecting things, that's actual work that you have done. And you have already elevated above just scrolling through TikTok. You elevated upwards. And just because you don't crediting creators, does that leave everyone empty-handed and everyone just don't get 1,000 more views? It's not Sniper Wolf's responsibility to credit creators. It's just TikTok's responsibility to improve the algorithm. That's it. And we have no control over that shit, unfortunately. We can only just be nicer to each other, in a way. And just because some fucking links appeared in Sniper Wolf's description doesn't change anything at all. So, yeah. Maybe creator's gonna get a extra 1,000 views. That's about it. Sniper Wolf is gonna have to use extra efforts to make those descriptions happen, and maybe she's gonna be less motivated to make videos as a whole because of that. Who knows, man? It's not just clear cut as it seems. Like, Jackson's might try to solve a problem, but he's gonna create a problem potentially if Sniper Wolf just decides to disappear and it's like, well, I don't like making videos on YouTube anymore. That's pretty fucking terrifying. Like, YouTube will be disappointed in what just happened, right? Like, Jackson's is gonna be even more under fire than just being doxxed when YouTube decides, like, you scared Sniper Wolf away. Like, there's a problem. There's a problem definitely needs to be solved. Like, this is nonsense. Is Sniper Wolf still demonetized? We don't know. So that's the drama. And it's very complicated, and it requires brain cells and respect. If you jump to conclusions and collect your 50 points of experience, I don't care about you. Like, I have thousands and thousands of experience. I've actually spent and try to communicate with people. I committed to that shit. I will reply to comments most of the time. So, you know, I don't want to see a lot of people jumping to conclusions when covering this drama. They just want to demonize Sniper Wolf because that's cool. That's a cool thing to do. As like, that's what everyone seems to be doing, right? Like, everyone's looking at each other, or like we're gonna attack like Sniper Wolf, right? Like, that's what we decided. But they don't understand that they have not made the decision. It's Jack's Films that made the decision, and everyone just agreed. He's like a fucking dictator throwing a bunch of ants at Sniper Wolf, and it did scare her because, like, what, people really don't have brains to actually think for themselves, to see, like, whether something is good or bad. They just trust the authorities, that the first fucking person that complains happens to become the authority of YouTube. This is where I'm, like, very much questioning the integrity of everything around here. This is where shit gets really fucking tough to release. The constipation is tremendous, my friends. The pain and suffering. And then I get attacked, then I get dislike bombed, and it's like, well, you're clearly not a moral person if the first response you do is to dislike me. Then you're just an asshole. You know, and the internet is now flooded with assholes who don't even stop and think and try and analyze the situation before they just decided they don't like me, they don't like Sniper Wolf, they just keep deciding things. And it's like, when you're deciding that you don't like something, that thing slowly disappears from your life. Like, your heart shrinks down. You actually, by completing this and saying that, well, I have made a conclusion, you will stay in that 50 experience range. Like, you're not actually going to get new experience. You're just going to interact with things you don't like. If you just jump to conclusions and you're not moving forward anymore, you feel like you've beaten the final boss. You feel like you've done everything you can. But if you only listen to authorities, if you only listen to Jackson's side, you lose. In toilet theory, you must listen to both sides equally. And if you decide that you don't like someone and someone has already lost, very likely you just watched 50 videos that dislike Sniper Wolf exclusively. Which means you have been brainwashed. If you watch the same thing over and over again, and Sniper Wolf is not defended by anyone at all, you have been, my friends, brainwashed into thinking that supporting Sniper Wolf is impossible now, because there's like 50 videos that attack her. But if you want to be fair and just and normal, you always try to find balance in things, and you try to listen to sources equally, right? I listen to Sniper Wolf herself. I have to watch her videos because there's nobody defending her anyways. So that fucking sucks. And but that's all they have. The other side, so you have Sniper's reaction videos because she's not being defended, and then the attackers. What do the attackers offer me? They just offer facts of some kind, or their emotional garbage. Basically, NPCs and Skibidi toilets unite just for one reason: to cause damage to the platform. That's all they do. They just combine and they just want to attack. They want to leverage your understanding of the platform, and they want to shut down a creator, to confuse them that they're not welcome on the platform anymore, that people hate them. But that's just confusion. So now we unlocked the new drama of 2024. Everything like moves forward. So from Sniper Wolf, we go to the Skibidi drama, boys. And this one's pretty interesting because they, by moving forwards too fast, they expose themselves. It's just what happens. Skibidi is in, my friends. They expose themselves by attacking Sniper Wolf, a person that I somewhat admire quite a bit. And I name her the second generation Powerpuff. That is very powerful, my friends. Just being council member of like top 25 is powerful enough where I really respect you. I might not be able to connect with you directly, but I really respect. But now, people have exposed themselves and they have corrupted their channels even by throwing propaganda against Sniper Wolf. They're just blasting that shit. Again, if you don't consider both sides, you are on the enemy side. You're the attacker. You're trying to destroy someone's reputation. What else is this for, right? You're not actually creating something. You're not even creating competition. You have been identified. It's fairly fucking easy to do. If it was competition, it would be more respectable. If it was trying to collaborate with Sniper Wolf, it would be super respectable. There's different levels of identity you can aim for, and they aim to just attack. You know, just usually attackers are questioning one thing. Will something happen? They always question this one thing: what will happen if we attack? If we just unite and we all decide that Sniper Wolf is no longer like needed on the platform? What will happen? Well, the conclusion is not yet done, but what happened is they got exposed. All right? That's all that happened. Skibidi toilets got exposed. And NPCs. They sort of like pretend to fight each other in the series, but they're fighting each other for the views. You know, the most treasured things is the views. And they're winning that war, you know, they're fighting each other for the views, and it's working out. At least in the animated series of Skibidi toilets. Skibidi toilets represent the faces of YouTube that are kind of fucking shitty. You know, they come out of the gutter just to talk about drama because there's nothing else to do, apparently. And the NPCs, well, they monitor everything, but they don't actually show their faces. They don't try to manipulate you emotionally. They just like cite facts and collect data and all that shit. They're very robotic, basically. I try to be in between. I can show my face because I'm just simply poor. I don't have a good PC setup. I don't have friends to hook me up with better equipment and better software and all that shit. I don't have help around me. I just have to work with what I have. Try to work with scraps and like move as much as to forward as possible. And I still have to like balance my life where apparently there's problems with neighbors now. Congratulations. How fucking cool is that? There's more. Perhaps Mr. Beast's drama is also evolving into something else. I already know what that is. I'm just not sure if that's an evolution or just a disconnected thing. So let me throw that very quickly out there. There's a real game theory going on, and it's Hytale. Why is it not being released for so goddamn long? And yes, people make the joke of GTA 6 not being released either, because the anticipation is killing all of us. Anticipation is pissing me off at this point. Like, you really want something, but you can't get it. You're being teased to death, basically. And this sort of stuff is, like, very dangerous, in a way. Why tease people when they already have, like, really good things? Why be teased? Why allow teasing to even exist? There's no reason, right? So we have to declare war against fucking Hytale and many, many other games who are not being released fast enough. The first game that pissed me off that was not released fast enough is ES Legends, Elder Scrolls Legends, bro. And over time, of course, it had to evolve, but the first time I got my hands on Elder Scrolls Legends, I mean, like, was amazing experience. It's like what I was waiting for, and I never knew it was coming out. So I'm like, please, like, fucking release this shit. Who cares if it's broken? Who cares about the haters? But, like, that's the thing. Just like with Sniper Wolf drama, people care about the haters a lot now. Apparently, if you make too many haters, you're doing something wrong. But I don't think that's the case anymore. I think everyone is receiving haters just because people have grown up and they have high expectations. But for high expectations, you have to have high investment, high involvement. So there's a lot of bitter and stupid people who just become haters and they have nothing to offer. And we just have to weed them out. We have to fucking burn them haters, you know. Just blaze them. Absolutely. And eventually, after we do that, we have this pinnacle moment of my channel when this happens. We just release all the tension, all the haters disappear, you know. Dislikes had to be disabled. And one person in particular says that he actually agrees with the audience on this one, that disabling dislikes was the worst thing YouTube has done. I disagree. I think we need more positivity and less people uniting for the sake of trashing something. You guys don't understand. Look, I don't want to see the dislike bar, the dislike ratio. I actually don't want to see it. As a creator myself, like, it's kind of annoying because I know I'll be hated and it's way too easy to do that and it's way too easy to trigger yourself, and all of a sudden even Penguin himself is becoming insecure little garbage that cannot stand up for proper arguments anymore. He's trying to appeal to audience way too much, it feels like. And we're going to dig deeper into that too. But only if it involves those two dramas. Skibidi Toilets or, well, Skibidi Drama. Because it involves the NPCs too. I can't single out the toilets. But that, or the gaming thing. I don't think Penguin is split into any of these. I think he's just a face of YouTube that everyone recognizes now. And we have to, like, take him apart now. once and for all. He kind of showed his face, all right, when he was fighting Sneeko. And all of a sudden, I'm like, okay, I think you overreacted. I think Sneeko has actually won the argument because Sneeko was already like pushed out of the platform. He's kind of like acting as a homeless man in a way. And if he can reel in Penguin into doing something ridiculous, then he wins. And Penguin just kind of like submitted, showing that he doesn't have the enough of a temper. He kind of backlashed, and all of a sudden they made up. The relationship is just like set in stone and settled down. Of like, well, nothing should happen because like we're not supposed to put each other in danger, right? Of course. And Sneeko was in Japan at the time to like, hey, dude, calm down. It's that sort of vibe. It's like fucking weird, man. But everything is more meaningful than you think. So, what is this anticipation thing? And why is it so dangerous? And why being teased is so dangerous? Why waiting for Hytale? Hytale is supposed to be the next Minecraft, and it isn't because of the haters, because you're scared to release the game. What's going on? You have to release something. You have to work from something. The only reason I tell people, the only reason why Minecraft was successful is because it was released. That's the only way you can be successful. You release something and you keep building. You don't give up. You keep updating the goddamn thing. No matter how people respond to that shit. It just depends on your personality. But they're just testing you whether you're going to give up or not. That's the whole point. You know, you release it despite the haters, but the haters will continue. Just try to test you if you're going to break your own game, if you're just going to give up and let it die. If the game has no survivability and nothing to look forward to anymore. We need to put more pressure on these fucking assholes who believe salivating over Minecraft 2, second version of Minecraft, is actually productive in any way. It's painful to me. But I like talking about it, all right? And talking about it is giving developers a little bit of time. I'm buying time for developers, but at the same time, I'm grabbing time from their futures. They have to release the game now. I'm giving you more time now. Because we have to like learn principle to not be teased. To take the things that are valuable right now. Yeah, I'm buying them time of the time that they would waste not releasing the game. That's the whole point. Trying to be a perfectionist, it always fails. At some point, something happens, and you have to rewrite entirety of your code because you're perfectionist. Everything. You want to rewrite everything. You feel insecure. You discover something the last moment, you know, like, oh, this is wrong. When you're perfectionist, it gets pretty dangerous. Of course, we can't pretend that this drama is like gonna evolve into something, right? But what if we add Technoblade into the mix? Yeah, the dude that died from cancer, but he probably died because he played too much Minecraft. Let's put it that way. And no one even suspected a thing and knew how to help him in any way. He was just addicted to Minecraft. He was addicted to, you know, being the best in the game, being competitive. And now we're talking about something even deeper. So there's the anticipation, and then there is competitive behavior of what happens on the other side. because people can't just anticipate things, they have to do something. And Minecraft still exists, and you have to like still do something in Minecraft, so now you're trying to be competitive in various ways too. Technoblade is just on a pile of garbage of competitive people, which also includes Dream, and Dream is also a piece of shit basically because he's involving himself into drama just like automatically. Just don't go to Twitter. That is the advice I would give to everyone in the fucking world who has any reputation whatsoever. Don't go to Twitter. This is gonna solve your fucking life, bro. It's just that simple. You can go to like Instagram and post things because people don't really communicate with each other on Instagram, right? And they don't post shit about you on Instagram, bro. That's a clean place where women go, so you can express yourself on Instagram fairly easily. If you want to like notify your fans about something, that's fine. Like Mr. Beast figured that shit out. But Mr. Beast didn't figure out the Twitter thing, so he also is getting in trouble through Twitter. I don't know what the fuck people are doing on Twitter. It always ends up pretty fucking badly. The more you fucking time you spend there, it's almost like a special little place. Like Europe, you know, like the more things you do outside of your private zone, it's a mistake most of the time. It ends up being a mistake. So I view Twitter as the same simulation of people are trying to communicate, but they don't know how to communicate, so they make mistakes instead. And everything just turns into drama, escalates, basically. And it fucking sucks, but it's their fault. You know, they just consented to social unorganized speech, in a way. Yes, you can make statements, but like, even Jack's films, like, dig out that YouTube also acts very weird on Twitter and post about mukbangs and fucking astrology signs. Like, this is some bullshit. Absolutely. If it's true, I don't know. I don't want to verify that. It's just weird. Like, on Twitter, everyone is weird. And I ran away very quickly. I didn't find much value. I found the negative value of almost like everyone exposes themselves of how weird they are because they don't know how to like express themselves. Like an influencer can't express with words. That's just kind of lame, you know. They express themselves in different ways, and words is not it, unfortunately. Words just make them look pathetic and weak. A YouTube video, when you're making a statement, you're talking to a camera, you're trying to explain something, that's pretty strong. A tweet, not so much. It's not something I can pay attention to or I can keep up with. I can't subscribe to that. And Twitter's just a cesspool of garbage overall. People try to keep up with each other, but it's just like, what the fuck are you guys doing? You can get baited into thinking that something is more important than it actually is as well. So that's a big thing, but I'm just saying to avoid it and flush it down the toilet too. But what does that have to do with anything, right? We have to go back to the anticipation idea. What is the hightail about, and why is it so dangerous to like create a game that doesn't get released for so long? But it sucked people in. Already, there are a lot of victims who are just waiting for the game. They're covering every single detail about it, but it's not out. It's not fun. You know, it's just a demoralizing sort of factor out there, and who knows, maybe it's going to be a flop in the end. And then it's going to be really disappointing because we have wasted time waiting for this shit. I hate when people make distractions when we could be focusing on things that we already achieved, on the good things that we have done in the society, but my brain just can't help it. I'm like anticipating as well with everyone else. I'm just waiting for things. Like I want new spectacular things to experience and whatnot. Just like a lot of people anticipate every single time Hearthstone update happens. You know, of like, what are the nerves? What are the changes? Please, Blizzard. Do you understand what I want from you? So yeah, I think it's just very simple. Not releasing a game is just a failure. An absolute failure, a big ass mistake to be making. Just like I was just like making a video, I'm releasing it. Yes, it's not going to get a lot of views, but I'm getting the experience that I need. And yes, I need to spice things up. But how do we spice things up in this toilet thing? Well, we didn't talk about Mr. Beast just yet. And technically, you know, we spin the web, we have all these dramas, Skibidi, Hightail, and Sniper drama. Let's go. And technically, most of them are my enemies, so might as well summon Jacksums instead. Because Jackson is the active one right now. All of them flushed down the toilet. As the year of Purge is here, we have to demand that people stop hating and developers start sharing. You know, whatever you have created, just share with the fucking world. You don't have to wait. You just don't. Like, you'll fix it later. You want fans to start admiring your work, you have to share it while it's, you know, pretty much cooked. Like, the first pile of bread is cooked. Like, just share it with people. And when it comes to, like, digital goods, you have a couple of fans that are very dedicated, that have been waiting a long time. They just want to see enough stuff to be satisfied. They want to experience things to be satisfied. And if you don't release things fast enough, like, it's pathetic. The biggest offender of this is not Hytale. It's fucking Ray Noodle, bro. And Hearthstone actually matters quite a bit on this one. This guy is promising to release Bazaar, but it's somehow, you know, not working out. And he's looking more and more homeless as we dive in deeper into the anticipation of a semi-card game. A card game that turned into an auto-battler. And auto-battlers are kind of weird, but I'll take it. I'll take what I can get, bro. You know, it's just like, we just give. If you give free things, I take what I can get. But, like, I don't want to wait. Waiting costs money and effort. You know? Like, if you give free things, I take. But if you don't give anything, I have to go. You know, that's the fucking problem. That's the drama behind this. And it causes so many problems. So the drama is not about us. We understand that we're not supposed to fucking wait. All right? You and me, hopefully. But there's a lot of people that don't understand. They're just waiting. They're waiting for that next iPhone to be released. And things are getting worse. Things are getting much worse. They actually now just lined up in their own comfort zones, in their own homes, just waiting for things. And this is unacceptable. The GTA 6 highlights that there's a lot of people waiting for the fucking game and they're not even gonna get it on PC. It's impossible. It's just reality breaking nonsense that developers allow themselves to do. They're assholes. And we have to accept that, and we have to share an experiences of, like, what to do, how to entertain ourselves, how to progress in life. But you also must understand, real life is entertaining. And I will not respect you if you just, like, a playing the game or playing one game or a couple of games. Or just shoving games down your throat for 10 hours at a time. And then you just forget about those games as if you completed them. You have to be smart about it. You have to squeeze all the juice, all the value, because these are very difficult things to balance. Like eventually you're gonna feel like you're growing out of something, but if you have passion, like it's not supposed to happen, and you're not supposed to be upset, and you're supposed to protect other people from drama, because drama is dangerous. All right, if you misunderstand how to handle this shit, you'll make tons of mistakes again. Boo-hoo, you're gonna be sucked into Twitter again to deal with those mistakes, to deal in this purgatory, basically. That's what it is, pretty much. The X, the purgatory, the crossover between good and evil, that you have to untangle yourself and go back to being normal. Because the good people are trying to pull you in, the bad people are trying to pull you in into their side, and it's just like, no, just remain normal. It's the best life ever, unfortunately, for them. You know, you want to be popular, you want to be, kind of lazy and shady, and but the best thing to do is be normal, not an NPC, not completely lifeless. If you have to go to purgatory, you better have a good fucking reason for it, but that's fine. So yes, we have the X as well. We have crossed over a lot of shit, apparently. There's a lot of drama floating around, and hopefully it hits the category, right? If it just passes through, I will talk about it. I'll mention it. I'll curse Elon Musk for being too rich and whatnot, and messing with our brains. But he controls this, and I gotta respect what he's up to, like, whatever. He wants to mess around with a shitty social platform. I'll let him have it. Nothing changes, by the way, because of that. It just kind of allows more people to do shitty things on the shitty platform. I mean, it's just, the vibe stays the same. It's technically the only thing Elon Musk owns and doesn't fucking ruin by owning it. And maybe somehow Tesla is also a cool company. I don't know. It seems fine, It seems a little bit weird with the winter season, but I'll assume it's fine. Maybe it works for some people. I don't know anything about cars though, so forgive me. I don't go outside very often. I don't need to, because my life is miraculously peaceful and fine. So just to wrap it up, right? We have the hype tail, the tail of the hype. Why is that the case? We'll never know, bro, until the fucking developers start talking to us and expressing how fucking weird they are for trying to collaborate into something, but they just can't, they're constipating, and it just gets stuck in their system, and we're just waiting empty-handed of like, well, I guess we get nothing, right? Because just pictures, like, that's not a game. If we're waiting for a game, we want a game. Alright, just release some fucking game. Fucking Tetris, of all things. People gonna gobble it up from the floor. If it looks like Tetris and feels like Tetris, and it has Hightail slapped on it, people gonna gobble it up. It's just that simple, bro. It has blocks in it, so it looks like Minecraft almost. I'll take it. That's how desperate most people are, who are actual fans, and you have to respect them the most, because they're gonna be fucking turning on you 180 degrees and fucking body slamming you into fucking embarrassment and shame. Like, it's just painful. Because you're making us wait. Like, what do we do? Not everyone knows what to do in these situations. And I'm picking up the overall vibe. I'm not the problem. I know what to do. I'm just gonna wait and see what happens. And if there's movement, I report it and I cluster it into bigger and bigger drama, into bigger bubble, because I see the pattern over and over again. And it's worse and worse because games are now more complicated and harder to develop and release. Not easier for some reason. The game engine just doesn't make things easier for some reason, which doesn't make sense to me. You know, that's the biggest problem. People are game developers and like cool, but they don't have any engineering skills, which is necessary to make the game smooth and very functional. Engineering skills. And maybe you have to like actually change the engine, but who knows? Who knows? If you're not releasing anything, we'll never know how even things work, and we'll never be able to give advice and all that shit. Like, you have to give it to the public to be able to get feedback. The feedback is very valuable, if you can filter it, of course. With Mr. Beast, we monitoring that shit very intensely. He's the biggest of them all. But the lifespan is on a clock. Just like PewDiePie took 8-9 years to be up and down, got his crown, and got dethroned. Same is gonna happen with Mr. Beast. There's no doubt about it. There's a lifespan and he's not gonna fucking survive forever. He's trying to do bigger and better things over and over again. And I can see through the cracks. I can see the flaws. He's not gonna impress me that much by making things bigger and better and more impressive. Because at some point, you're gonna put people in danger, basically. Put yourself in danger. By putting yourself in a survival situation where you're trying to survive 7 days in an insane asylum, and the doctor even says, like, it can leave permanent psychological damage. Like, it actually can traumatize you. You must understand, right? And Mr. Beast looked completely miserable and completely out of order in that situation that he put himself into. And it's like, what the point of that is? What are you trying to show? That you can go insane while trying to stay in an insane place for 7 days without human contact? This is very dangerous. What Mr. Beast is doing is extremely dangerous for a simple reason. People can turn on you. People can decide that you are actually weak and insane, and they will turn on you. They will actually start manipulating you more. They're not just going to toy with you as a friendly gesture. They're actually going to fucking flip the script in some kind of way and mess with you, basically. And Mr. Beast just fucking toying with that shit. He's just waiting for bad things to happen. It puts me, in an elevated state of like, I'm stressed for this dude who's getting himself into danger on purpose. Fucking stuntman of YouTube. But again, this cannot last forever, my friends. It just can't. It's impossible. There's no fucking way. So we have to monitor the situation very intensely. He's gonna get dethroned. And maybe I'm next. Who knows? Maybe the spotlight is gonna hit my fucking forehead. Because I feel pretty powerful on this platform. I feel unchallenged, undefeated, so to speak. And that's a big deal. With Skibidi, we have to monitor anyone who speaks about anything. If there's a drama thing going on, there's gonna be a lot of people talking. And I already am looking at Oompa, see what he's up to. You know, he's trying to be a part of this Skibidi gang, basically. It's a fucking gang, you know. There's two ways of dealing with the drama. You throw your face out there, or just throw facts and documentary, basically, out there. I don't recommend being a part of this, but I am covering drama as well. It's just these people are like one-sided. They just see the narrative and they just play along with the narrative. I try to understand the bigger picture of what can I learn from this. I want my self-interest, in this, and I teach other people to be self-interested. it kind of hurts me a little bit, but as long as we can have win-win situations, I will stay afloat personally as well, and be successful, and be very happy. And with Jack's films, we just have to be the guy with the stick, and just take his points away. Again, let me see. I probably Prison Jewel. I don't think Selena is connected. Furries, bro. Emma Stone? Why is he connected to Emma Stone, bro? I want to backtrack on the whole thing because it still feels super stupid that I linked Powerpuffs with him just to teach a lesson, but it's like, nah, it's not working. So now he's at 66%, and it's going to be very difficult to steal from him unless someone like Aziland comes back around, unless I find more React content that's actually like good. If you making React content to TikToks and you're finding like the good ones, the smart ones, let me know, bro. We need to subscribe to your channel and kick Jacksons in the balls. All the reactors, and obviously don't give credit to the creators because who the fuck cares about that shit? Alright? They get the views, they get the attention, they get the comments, they live their own lives. Why would they chase after thieves who just copied and pasted their content? And they're just like examining, reacting, that's the whole point. What do you want, Jack's Films? Why do you make people feel guilty for reacting to things? It's just kind of fucking stupid. And the fact that people are actually claiming that Sniper Wolf is not reacting properly, are you fucking kidding me? How did she get 10 million subscribers or 30 million subscribers by not reacting properly? Not good enough for you? Like, what the fucking standards are we talking about? Because for me, it's the best. She is the best. She's incomparable. Show me better ones. It's just very difficult for most people to do that. But if you just make a blanket statement of like she's bad and there's nothing to compare to, then I guess you're right in your own little fucking world where nothing else exists. It's just you don't like your own world. I guess the only thing left to do is flush you down the toilet. And that's the end of this episode. Thank you guys for watching. One more time, boys. And for Sniper Wolf's sake.
Hello, friends, it's me.
See you guys next time.